And so the complexity of the land and sea management programs is when a small group gets a program up, it has to look for money to be able to pay wages, buy spray, buy fuel, keep the vehicles running and do all of these things. This is a group at Pine Creek. It has something like 12 different grants that it has to apply for and report on. So the person who's stuck in the office doing this is all they're doing is writing funding applications, doing their quarterly reports that are all at the different times of the year. It's not all synchronised. And slowly the person that comes along to support Aboriginal people working out in the bush, gets faced with this, gets jack of it and leaves. So you're getting people with the reading and writing skills that are coming through just turnover. And many programs go belly up or they just stagnate, but it's seen to be an Aboriginal problem. Aboriginal people can't get themselves together. When I worked at the Northern Land Council, I used to have to manage 69 different grants. I used to do my head in. It was absolutely bizarre. And finally, when we got the secretaries of the departments together to come out on country, when some of them, when they saw it, like Department of Heritage and Water, they said there was a problem and they'd do something about it, but the others, it seemed to go in one ear and out the other. Now, if I go back to weeds, so Mimosa, it's a weed that grows in the wetlands, chokes the wetlands. Green shows its potential infestation area, where it can move, and yellow shows where it is at the moment. So if Aboriginal people weren't doing anything about mimosa could spread. So if it's costing the Australian government $4 billion a year in lost production, what would it be in 20 or 30 years' time, that cost, the fix-up cost? And this just shows you mimosa across one of the wetlands, the green. So it just creates this dense monoculture. You're getting no bird life coming in there anymore. You can't get through to get any food or hunt. And it's ecologically changing the environment. And you combine these things with climate change, where there's more rainfall in the north. These things just become even more of a problem. And so this is what's lost. First of all, you've lost your food, you've lost your access to places, you've lost your knowledge about that country and how to utilise it, and you only have to remove people from doing these activities. Ecological knowledge is passed through practice. So when you stop that practice, that knowledge goes. So you only have to sever it for 1 or 2 generations, one really, because it's an oral knowledge, the way that it's kept. And so it can go. But food goes. So when food goes, high-value food goes, you've got to get your food from somewhere else. And this is what John was talking about. You go to the shop and you pay your $38 for a kilo of poor-grade mincemeat, or some sort of chop that no one down south wanted to buy because it's got too much fat, or you buy your Coca-Cola, etc. So these other problems associated with land management and weeds, it's just not a land and weed problem. It's a health problem, a loss of community knowledge. Long-necked turtles, they start to disappear. Now fire. Now this shows you the Nicholson block on the NT-WA border, our NT-Queensland border. This fire in 2004 was 16,000 square kilometres. It's a late season fire, so incredibly hot. It burnt right across the land trust. No Aboriginal people living there, a few, but no resources to do anything. All they could do was sit and watch, yet they get the blame. It's come off blackfellas' land. A nasty, nasty situation down here. But in fact the fire came from Queensland. It came off a national park into Indigenous land. And some of the neighbouring pastoral properties lost 80% of their feed. So that causes enormous tension within the communities. And again, it becomes this blame game. Rather than saying to people, you all live in a remote community, you all share these environmental management issues. This is just showing you what a big hot late season fire does when it comes through. And that's what's left. So it burns really high. All of the crown of the trees are burnt out. And, things can take an evolutionary time frame to come back with these huge fires. And when the fires are happening year after year after year, then you're starting to expose the skeletal soils that are going to wash into the billabongs and rivers and start to choke that. So things are slowly changing. And this is a cool season Aboriginal fire lit out late in the evening when the dew will come on and will slowly keep it, lick across the land. Here we go, your friend the pigs, the bacon producers. But this is what they do. So this is a wetland. This is what it should look like with the rake, the water chestnuts behind it, but out for a long way. You're getting large areas of land that are just being destroyed by pigs. And the pigs are digging up the long-necked turtles, so people are losing food. They're urinating in the water, polluting the water. Again, loss of food. And now these are buffaloes. Now you might think of buffaloes in the Southeast Asia context, nice, gentle animals, but when they're running wild on country, they destroy sacred sites, wetlands. But what they do is also they create these swim channels that you can see here. So you start to get saltwater intrusion that's coming into this freshwater environments and starting to kill the freshwater plants. And so a lot of Aboriginal people are saying now in areas where paperbarks are growing, the paperbarks are dying and the mangroves are starting to come up. So again, with climate change and sea rise and these feral animals, you're getting huge changes that are happening on these incredibly valuable lands in terms of biodiversity. And the complex issue is, shall we just go and kill them? Well, Aboriginal people just don't like shoot-to-kill policy. It's a waste. You should use food. And buffaloes are good food, particularly the younger ones. And it's also very good when you've got a big mob of people together for a ceremony and you need meat quickly. There's no totemic issues associated with this, so you can feed it to everybody, is what people say. So people are saying, we want to get rid of buffalo, but we want to have some. So how do you balance it? How do you do these things and work out that measure? Now, some of the Caring for Country programs, pigs just aren't destroying the land, but they also cause problems for biosecurity issues of carrying diseases, tuberculosis, etc. And so here rangers are being trained, Aboriginal people are being trained about how to take samples, blood samples, liver samples, and then send these in to labs to get tested. And this is small programs that they've developed to do this on a fee-for-service basis. That we'll do this and you pay us for this. So this is Aboriginal people thinking about how they can offer something to Australia. And you might be thinking, you people live so remote, what's your land got to do with me? But you've got to think about where all your clean air comes from, the pollination that happens, the value of having these huge landscapes. These are the ecosystem services that they're providing. So I would say that you living down south benefit from these vast landscapes that Aboriginal people are trying to actively manage on the smell of an oily rag. So if you're getting benefits from this, how do you pay for this? How does it work? Now, payment for environmental services isn't appearing very much in any sort of economic framework. Slowly it's starting. But we should be looking at things of biodiversity credit. How valuable is your land in terms of biodiversity? What, you're going to go and put a cattle station on that country? It's too valuable. So how do you start working out that? Again, this is saltwater people who were busy finding a lot of the illegal foreign fishing boats that were coming in. Most of them were spotted by Aboriginal people, but Customs just didn't want to know a thing about them, saying you ring the 1-800 number down in Melbourne and you report it. Many of these people, are speakers of English or the third or fourth language, and when you're ringing the, down in Melbourne and saying I'm Gulawinku, they say, well, where's that? It just goes nowhere. So again, the land management programs are being able to say, we can do a service for you. We can be your eyes and ears. We did it during the Second World War when you wanted us to. Now, why can't we do it? While you have some government departments like Environment and Water that have developed a Working on Country program and supporting this, you get others like Customs who are in the dark age and can't see the value of local knowledge, and they can't see a workforce in 20 years' time being a black workforce in the Northern Territory. It just does not enter their heads. And again, these are Aboriginal people who have been out collecting mosquitoes, doing getting samples of mosquitoes along the coast so they can report any new mosquitoes that might be coming in from New Guinea or Indonesia on some of these fishing boats. So again, a fee for environmental service. And again, on outstations, what comes from the outstations, but so much of the art that the urban-based people absolutely love. And this is where it's developed. It's the stories of the country, of the bush. And last, this is a view of the future. Aboriginal people using computers, satellite maps to work out their fire management program. It's only happening in such a few areas, but you have to ask yourself, why isn't this the norm of land and sea management across Australia?